On my birthday, I closed my eyes to make a wish. Who knew that right as I opened them, my mom would suddenly shift her body to block me, giving my sister the perfect chance to blow out my candles. I immediately grabbed the cake and smashed it right into my sister's face. Blow, blow, blow! Are you not gonna live to see your own birthday or something? Before my sister could even start screaming and crying, I threw myself onto the floor. I started crawling around like a dark, twisted creature. I frantically pulled my hair, screamed, cried, did push-ups, paced back and forth, wailed like a ghost, twisted my body in unnatural ways, and rolled my eyes into the back of my head. My parents were absolutely stunned. My name is Chloe Jones, and I have been reborn at the age of 14. I can summarize my past life in 3 words. Martyrdom syndrome. Before I was 10, I was a left-behind child. My parents were in the city hustling for their careers, while I lived in the countryside with my grandparents. They only wanted a grandson, so they couldn't stand the sight of me. During those days with no father, no mother, and no love, I kept telling myself that I needed to be kind to be loved, that I had to be a forgiving person to earn people's respect. At 10, I was finally brought to the city by my parents, only to discover I suddenly had an 8-year-old sister. The absurd decade that followed proved one simple truth to me. If you take a step back, people will just walk all over your miserable face. Nobody will ever love someone who doesn't even love themselves. The aftermath of the cake smashing incident was, of course, my dad lifting me up by the collar, giving me a huge slap. Then he started beating the absolute shit out of me. While getting my ass handed to me, I wailed and cried, freely venting all the grievances I had held in for a lifetime. You just favor her. You 3 are the real family. If that's the case, why didn't you just strangle me when I was born? Beat me to death, kill me. I'll reincarnate, you go to prison. In my next life, I'll be your dad, and I'll play favorites too. I'll favor someone else so hard, the moment you are born, I'll flush you down the damn toilet. My dad was so furious, his veins were popping out like a literal demon. My mom just looked at me with pure disappointment. What the hell is wrong with you? Joke's on her. Her eyes were always full of disappointment anyway. I was immune to it now. I even gave her a smile that clearly said, I'll fucking do it again. The next day, I purposely wore a thick, heavy winter coat to school. It was fall. All the kids were wearing light long-sleeve shirts, and there I was, bundled up in a puffer jacket, sweating like a pig during class. My homeroom teacher walked over to me and told me to take it off because seeing me sweat that much made her uncomfortable. I sobbed softly, putting on the ultimate act of a battered, pitiful victim. I slowly slipped off the jacket, revealing arms covered in horrific bruises and welts. The teacher immediately called the cops. I swore right then and there that I would study hard to repay her immense kindness. Honestly, God was on my side. My dad was a senior city official, a job where public image is absolutely everything, so I wasn't worried in the slightest that he would throw me out of the house. He probably wouldn't beat me to death either. All I wanted was fairness. If no one was going to give it to me, I'd snatch it myself. Over the weekend, Mom took my sister to the mall, and I was grounded, locked inside the house. Before leaving, she told me to think long and hard about the animalistic, disgusting things I had done recently. Your dad is the deputy city commissioner. He's at a crucial point for a promotion. Do you realize you could become a stain on his record? If I knew you were going to be like this, I would have aborted you, Mom said, wrinkling her brow in disgust. My sister hid behind her, making nasty faces at me. I felt numb, completely numb. I sat in my room for a bit and suddenly remembered my past life. I was a girl praised by everyone. They clung to my body, drank my blood, ate my flesh, maliciously hurt me without consequence, took everything from me, and then patted my head. They would say, you really are a good, obedient kid. Is it true that the squeaky wheel gets the grease? If so, I wasn't just going to squeak. I was going to crawl on the floor like a goblin, rip out my hair, pick my nose, dig at my eyeballs, climb a fucking tree, screech like an ape, and jump into a lake screaming. I tore the curtains off my window, cut the fabric into long strips, tied them into knots, and anchored one end to the radiator. I tied the other end around my waist. We lived on the 3rd floor of an upscale gated community for government officials. Not too high, but standing on the window ledge still gave me a wave of vertigo. I carefully stepped 1 foot out. Instantly screams erupted from below. Little girl, what are you doing? That's too dangerous. Go back inside. Go back. This was the city official's residential compound, the place I grew up in. Today, Chloe Jones was going to drag her family's reputation through the mud. I slowly let the rope down, inch by inch. Panicking neighbors were just about to call the police when I landed safely on the ground. My revenge was meant for my parents. I wasn't about to waste police resources. Don't worry, folks. I was just locked inside for too long and needed some fresh air. I smiled, putting on a brave, tragic face. Even though we lived in the government compound, my parents actually owned several properties, mansions and luxury condos. This brings me to my complicated family background. My father was the golden child who climbed out of a dirt-poor rural town. He was the only college graduate from his county back in the day, entered local government, hustled for over a decade, and was now the second in command of the entire city bureau. But my dad wanted both money and power, so he made my mom quit her job to run businesses under her name as a front. His political career skyrocketed, and their bank accounts overflowed. But unluckily for him, he was stuck with a daughter like me. Tough shit for him. Huh. The people in the compound gave my dad face and didn't blow the incident out of proportion, but everyone was gossiping behind his back. My dad beat the hell out of me again. This time he was really swinging for the fences. Right in the middle of the beating, I suddenly blurted out, Dad, did you forget to eat breakfast? Where's the strength? He completely froze. Then his face turned a violent shade of red, like an enraged bull, and he charged at me. I bolted to the window like a flash of lightning, threw it open and screamed, Help! Domestic violence! I'm being beaten to death! My mom scrambled over, clamped a hand over my mouth, dragged me backward, and slammed the window shut. Beat me to death. Tomorrow you'll be on the front page and I'll be in hell. I even got the headline ready for you. Shocking. City commissioner does the unthinkable to his daughter at midnight. Is it a loss of humanity or moral bankruptcy? My dad was highly intelligent, Otherwise, he wouldn't have been a college graduate. He forced himself to calm down, heavily slumping onto the sofa. Spit it out. What do you want by acting this crazy? Dad asked, lighting up a cigarette. Put the cigarette out, I commanded. His hand twitched. You little bastard, you dare? Think about your next words carefully before you speak to me. I crossed my arms, staring down at him with an authoritative glare. Do you believe I'll send you to a fucking psych ward? He threatened, clenching his jaw. I sneered. The great Commissioner Jones raised a lunatic daughter. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If I'm crazy, so are you. No wonder you've been stuck as a deputy commissioner your whole life. It's because your own flesh and blood is a certified psycho. He aggressively crushed his cigarette into the ashtray. You don't have to be my daughter. I looked at him like he had a single brain cell. No way. Is anyone out there really that generous to raise another man's kid? He froze for a second, then lowered his head and stopped talking. Richard Jones, you better believe I'm not exactly thrilled to be your daughter either. Let's make some ground rules. By the time I turned 15, I had successfully morphed into the demonic terror of the household. Sometimes when Mia tried to snatch my things, Mom would actually snatch them back. She would toss them to me and snap at her. Why are you taking her stuff? If you want something, I'll buy it for you. There was no love, but there was no abuse either. That was enough for me. One night, Mia came up to me and said, Sister, I really pity you. What's the point of rebelling against Mom and Dad? You won't get a single red cent of the inheritance in the future. I kept reading my book, totally ignoring her, but she kept running her mouth. Chloe, who are you faking it for? Mom, Dad, and I are a family of 3. You are never going to be welcome in this house. If you were smart, you'd pack your bags and get the hell out. When you turn 18, maybe I'll convince them to throw a few $1,000 your way. I hurled the hardcover book straight at her, nailing her right in the forehead. Oh my God, sister! I shrieked at the top of my lungs. Sister, why did you smash that book into your own head? If I have committed a sin, let God punish me. Do not hurt my innocent sister. I only drank soy milk this morning. I haven't even eaten meat. I'm doing good deeds. I roared. I violently slammed my own forehead into the floor. Then I started crawling toward her in a twisted posture, picked my nose and wiped the booger onto her shirt. Sister, how can I live without you? Mia shrieked in terror. Don't come near me. Stay away.
To continue, tap the arrow in the bottom right corner and copy the link, then tap the CapCut icon in the bottom left. Finally, click the red button.